So today,
Oh God, okay.
who
are we reviewing?
I have a 1-star review for
Okay.
Antlers at Vail from TripAdvisor that was written by Andrew.
Okay.
And the subject is the human turd, parentheses, poop, comma, crap, end parentheses, pool,
Wait, what?
dash, Antlers at Vail.
Oh my God.
All right.
Is it? No.
So here we go.
Getting Caddyshack vibes. Okay, here we go.
The human turd pool at the Antlers. How can you trust a hotel that lets a guest swim in a pool polluted by human feces and that tries to deny any responsibility for the pool? Quote, my daughter swam down to pick up a rock that turned out to be feces. Parentheses, poop, comma, turd, comma, crap, end parentheses. And Antlers at Vail denied any responsibility for the pool. End quote. First, allow me to say that I am no kid, and I've traveled all over the United States, as well as Canada, Mexico, Cuba, Panama, Italy, France, and Portugal. This was Cap's the worst experience I and my family have had, ... anywhere. Swimming with poop or feces was made worse by an uncaring / unpleasant general manager and untrained staff. I've been using TripAdvisor for over a decade and find it to offer critical insight on hotels and restaurants. The reason I use TripAdvisor is that my family time is precious, and it is critical that we have the best possible trip every time. For this reason, it's important to share our experience at the Antlers at Vail and encourage others to research hotels before booking. Pool. On Friday, August 21st, my family went down to the pool for one last swim. At this point, we had stayed at the Antlers at Vail for nearly a week. It's worth noting that we visited the pool every day. My daughter and I jumped into the pool and played with a water torpedo for what seemed like 20 minutes or so. I jumped out to check my phone or something and was brought back to the pool by my daughter. C had noticed quote-unquote rocks on the bottom of the pool and swam down to get them out of the pool. When she grabbed the first rock, it squished in her hand.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
We had been swimming in human feces the entire time.
Oh, no.
Do you open your eyes underwater? Does some pool water ever slip into your mouth by accident? Yep.
Oh my God.
My daughter swam down to a human turd with her eyes open and grabbed it thinking it was a rock. Welcome to the, quote, human turd pool by Antlers at Vail. We vacated the pool and went to our room for hot, soapy showers. When I reported the feces to Justin at the front desk, I was told the pool was closed. Maintenance was gone for the day, and he was sorry about that. He didn't seem overly concerned about human crap in the pool. Later, he called back to tell me they were going to close the pool and drain it due to the feces they found. What a concept! Obviously, Magdalena King, the GM, has a lot of training to do, and one wonders why she is in charge after all these years. The next day, I received a call from Kim, who informed me she was the assistant general manager. Kim confirmed that housekeeping was to be at the pool every hour to wipe down chairs and tables, but they didn't really inspect the pool. She also shared that was okay because the Antlers at Vail disclosed that the pool isn't monitored. She tried to quote unquote sell me on the idea that the Antlers wasn't responsible for the pool. Then, oddly, she asked what they could do to make us happy. She said they obviously couldn't give us a condo for life, but they were very sorry and would do whatever possible to make up for the awful event. She seemed reasonable and fair. I later called back and asked Kim to comp our stay, and I thought that was the very least the Antlers at Vail could do. On Wednesday the 27th, parentheses, we checked out Saturday the 22nd, I received a call from Magdalena King, GM. Yes, it took 6 days for the GM to bother to call. She acted very concerned and requested I rehash the entire story. After I shared the story once again, she completely changed her attitude and tone. She denied that the Antlers at Vail had any responsibility for the pool and that they would comp a night, as this was more than reasonable for swimming around in human feces. Have you ever bought a used car from a tacky used car salesman? Well, Magdalena told me that, quote, this was just a negotiation, end quote. What? I don't know. To recap, we swam in a pool contaminated by 3 chunks of human feces. We were told the Antlers at Vail wasn't responsible for the pool and was then called 6 days later by an arrogant general manager who thinks they/she did no wrong. The rest of the hotel, beds. The beds are very hard and uncomfortable, and they alone are enough reason to not visit the Antlers at Vail. I couldn't wait to get into my own bed at home. AC. Initially, the AC system in the unit didn't function. I found that a breaker was flipped, so I was able to get the one in the living room on. The master bedroom AC never functioned, and due to COVID, we were told that they were limiting maintenance visits. The master was very hot, so we opened the sliding doors at night, and around midnight, the room started to cool down. Humidifiers. The one in the room was broken, and the one they sent up seemed to function, but in 5 days, didn't need refilled, so both were broken. Ugh. This place could be amazing, but it's more like an Airbnb gone bad, with an unpleasant general manager running the show.
Oh my God.
4 people have found this helpful, and it was written in 2020.
I'm exhausted.
What a journey, huh?
Wow. That was quite a journey. So much to unpack, Trey.
I want to tell you, I looked because they lay out that like roughly the dates they were there. So I looked to see what the 3-bedroom suite for August would be for a week, and it's $4,620. Just to keep that in your noggin. $4,620.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so much happening here. First and foremost, like complete mismanagement and lack of communication between the team. Like that. Here's what's happening. Is it the Antlers' fault that some guests, like, let's go with the actual backstory of what happened. There was a guest that stayed at this hotel, allowed, I would hope, a child to go into the pool unmonitored, and their child went to the bathroom in the pool, and then they left, and nobody was monitoring it close enough to realize that had happened.
Right.
And so are they responsible in the fact that, like, it was their staff that pooped in the pool? Like, no. But when something like that happens, you have to do everything, and I think they absolutely should have comped their whole stay.
Really?
I do, actually. Yeah, I do. Because I think that this is like, that is so, it's one thing if they just like stepped in the pool and saw it and ran out. You know what I mean? I was like thinking it was like that scene in Caddyshack where they like see it like floating and then everybody's like, ah, and they like, run out of the pool and then it ends up being a fucking candy bar. But like this was like they were interacting with, like it's just so gross.
Squish.
I mean, the review is gross. The word squish, I nearly puked.
I mean, that daughter learned a very valuable lesson that day.
Don't grab the rocks at the bottom of the pool. Because, I mean, jeez Louise. But, like, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I feel like it kind of went on a journey. There were moments where I thought Andrew was a Ken.
Male Karen, yep.
Male Karen. Because he was just...
Oh, my God, it's a Ken.
Oh, my God, it's a Ken. Just because, like, they were going on, and, like, there were a lot of comments made that were just like, okay. Like... What about when they were like, had that whole list, like rock, feces, turd,
crap,
like they just like
poop.
had like crap, poop, like they just had like a million. They basically like searched the synonyms and then copy pasted.
I have to go.
I mean, I feel like
this is a perfect segue. Just we have to straight away because I'm reading it and you're not seeing it. Straight away, spelling and grammar. I think that Andrew is going after people like you who searches key phrases and words. They're trying to throw in as many zinging, popping words to catch anything. Also, I just need you to know, I have never in my life, I think that Ken is maybe a professor because this review literally...
By Ken, we mean Andrew.
Oh,
but yeah.
So am I saying Ken? All right, Andrew. Wait, I have to, because, okay. I have never seen a review like this. There's literally the introductory statement followed by it's 2 enters. Then there's a quote, just a quote of like the meat and potatoes of this review. My daughter swam down to pick up her up.
I know. I wrote that down because there was quote end quote. I starred that like what they quoted themselves in the middle, in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Continue.
And then they do a little
Very
statement,
strange.
like a personal statement paragraph about how they've traveled all over the world and why they trust and use TripAdvisor. And then they break down pool, which goes on forever, beds, AC, humidifiers, and then there's a conclusion at the end. This is, Airbnb gone bad. So like Andrew must be a professor.
Like this could be like, this could be submitted as like it has a quote in it, it has so many paragraphs, intro, conclusion. This could be handed in, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and even the subject is the human turd, all caps. Or sorry, the first letter of each word, the human turd, parentheses, poop, crap, pool. Every time he says the name Antlers at Vail, it's always capital each letter.
Wow.
Yeah, they definitely did
thought it was
a spell check on this. The only spelling error is he says brought back to the pool by my daughter. C had noticed quote unquote rocks, and they meant to say she had noticed rocks.
Right. Unless their daughter's first initial is C. I don't know. Is it just the letter C?
It's actually not the daughter's name because I went on a whole search because Andrew has written 345 reviews. So I went to see like what.
Oh, geez.
And so they're actually hilariously that you just brought this up. There is an image of he takes a picture of the daughter at a petting zoo, and there's a dog or there's like a goat. There's a goat licking the dog's hand, and I thought that was really funny after reading this review about her squishing poop in her hand.
Oh my God.
Poor goat.
Whew. I like the fact that Andrew decided to point out to us that they were not a kid.
Very important. Yeah.
Because maybe prior to that sentence and all of the writing and quotes that had happened before, we might have thought that he was in fact a kid. So personally grateful that he pointed that out. Also, what about like the expectation of every time I travel with my family, it has got to be the best experience ever? I think those are very high expectations, taking out of consideration the disgustingness of the situation.
I think it's interesting in context because I think it's a funny statement, but when I really dissect it, I think the point is I don't want the place that we're staying to be a contributing factor to if it's the best experience or not. But wait, I'm really confused because you pointed out earlier in your reasoning as to why the whole week should be comped.
Yeah.
I was really following your reasoning as like, so is the hotel responsible for like a guest's poop? Like,
I mean, okay. Are they responsible? No. But is it their responsibility to deal with it in the way that like a customer is always right? Yes. Like,
and Andrew mentions at the end COVID. And so this was written in August 2020. So you would think that they would really be stringent.
Even if they had exactly. And even if they had said like, oh my God, I'm mortified. I'm so sorry that like this happened before our staff could have seen it. We obviously would have addressed it right away. We obviously would have emptied the pool, you know, like what appears happened to me. What's very strange is all the back and forth between the staff to me, right? Because it's like, first of all, let's talk about Justin. So was Justin's name, according to your reading?
I just did that.
Oh, you did that. Okay, cool. So Justin is the first line of defense. Now, my opinion on Justin is I feel like he must be new or young or something like that, because most people that have been around the block a few times know that if somebody, God forbid, does poop in a pool, you have to drain it. It is like the first thing that you do. Everybody out of the pool, it's got to be drained. It's got to be sanitized. It's got to be like fully disinfected before we add any fresh new water into this with a bunch of chlorine and whatever else. So like, Justin obviously didn't know that. So Justin then obviously picked up the phone and called somebody else. And that person was like, oh my God, tell them that we're emptying the pool. Right. Tell them that we're, of course, apologize and say we're going to empty the pool. Like, are you crazy? You don't know that you should have told them that when they came in. So then they did that. And up until like the like comp portion, I was like, oh, it does seem like they're handling it well. Like they're saying that they're so sorry. What can we do? We'll do anything to make you feel better. Like obviously we can't give you a lifetime, stay at our condo, but anything short of that, we will do. So at that point in the review, I was thinking, all right, like it's a gross, terrible situation, but it's not really their fault. And at least like they're taking accountability. It seems like this Justin guy didn't really know what he was talking about. And they're wanting to do something.
Yes.
So when they obviously then left the hotel without paying on the 22nd. I'm sure they had their credit card, whatever it was, on file, but they obviously left without any kind of check-in. And then 5 days later, after they're already gone,
6 days.
6 days later, this woman calls up and is like trying to renege what was already said. Like that was where the hotel really lost me.
Yes.
That was unnecessary. Like at that point, it's just like, eat your losses, like call it what it is. It's an unfortunate situation. It sucks. The follow-up call in 6 days, in my opinion, should have been, again, we are so sorry. This is not a representation of our hotel. We hope you'll stay with us again. Like, here's a 50% discount for next time. Like, we hope that you don't hold this against us. Like, they should have done everything to maintain their reputation.
Okay, but here's something that doesn't make sense regarding Justin.
Okay.
Andrew writes, we ran upstairs to take soapy showers. When I reported the feces to Justin at the front desk, I was told the pool was closed.
Right.
So in the amount of time they were showering, the pool was closed. Maintenance was gone for the day.
Right.
Later, Justin called back to tell me they were going to close the pool and drain it due to the feces they found.
Right.
But Justin's already told them that the pool is closed.
Did Justin tell them that the pool was closed, or did they say, or did they notice that the pool was closed because it was like the end of the day and everybody was gone and the pool was like temporarily closed?
Oh, you think that they're stating a different definition of the word closed?
I think so. Like, I think like maybe one is saying like it was closed for the day, people were gone.
But tomorrow
like,
we're going to close it
and showered. Like, but yeah, so he was basically saying like, No, it's closed,
Okay.
closed. Like it's closed for good. Nobody.
I see
'cause
that.
when you have to empty out a pool and refill it, it takes
Forever.
like days to do this process. So like anybody that comes to this hotel or that's staying there will not have a pool.
And that's my question, because in Vail, it's snowing. So it has to be a heated pool. And that it must take forever to heat up.
Right. So the pool is going to be closed for like a while, probably.
All right. So do you think that Andrew is being truthful or shady?
I think Andrew's being truthful, and I think Andrew is like there's a few things. I think Andrew's being truthful. I think Andrew is appalled. I think Andrew's a little bit of an elitist, especially because you're telling me that they've written this many reviews. They obviously really pride themselves on their ability to describe scenarios at length. So I do think that that's playing a factor in the length of the review and in like the breaking down of every element and giving us this whole dissertation. There's a bit of a performative vibe here from Andrew.
Right. And then I always feel this way when something really negative happens. Like it's even just looking at it in print, there's like 12 paragraphs about the pool. And then there's two sentences about the beds, 4 sentences about the AC, 2 sentences about the humidifiers. So I feel like Andrew's tacking on other things that were subpar. Like, I don't even understand. There is something spelling wrong about the humidifier. It was broken. They sent up a new one. It seemed to function, but in 5 days it didn't need refilled. Didn't need to be refilled. So then it was also broken. Ugh. I don't know. They're choosing to list the things that were terrible because it's a 1-star review, which, makes sense.
It almost feels like, not to give him writing notes on this review, but if they had started with like this hotel was a terrible experience, boop, 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 ready for the grand finale, and then went into the pool and ended with the pool, I think that it would have like worked. You would have been like, this was wrong, and this was wrong, and this was wrong, and this was really wrong. Right. And then we would be listening. But when people do, it's like the review that we did of Spa Castle. Mm-hmm. Like there was that whole monologue about how upset she was about the water bottle. And then in the end, she was like, and there's feces on the wall. Like,
right. This is the exact opposite because they literally quote themselves about the poop.
Exactly. So,
I mean, okay. So do you think that this was a fluke, or do you think this is a common experience?
I'm beginning to understand why we were talking so much when we were assessing the last review about the time difference between the writing of these 2 reviews, because it does make me wonder if during COVID, maybe some of these employees that had been there for like 30 plus years, or some of those people that were like the veterans of this place, pieced out because they like didn't want to work in hospitality or whatever. And it sounds like we got some Justins in the mix who are new. And I think that unfortunately, the people that are running the hotel, they can really make or break the experience. In the last reviewers, they really made the experience. A lot of what they were talking about was based off of the friendliness of the staff and all of that stuff. And a lot of the reviews that I read also carry that same sentiment. So if there was a change, it can have a substantial impact.
Do you think that they'll change the locker rooms and name them after Justin? Put up a picture of Justin and some words under it?
I don't think Justin is going to last.
It probably doesn't work there anymore.
Very long. I don't think Justin is there. I mean, I could be wrong. We could call and see if Justin picks up the phone.
To me personally, I feel like pooping in the pool is I wonder, any establishment that has a pool, they've probably dealt with fecal matter in the pool and having to drain it and deal with it. There's a protocol.
Exactly.
So it's hard for me to say if the pool experience is going to be a common or a fluke. I think the response to it was highly inappropriate. As far as the beds, I mean, I think that sleeping preferences are so crazy. You can buy firm mattresses, whatever. The ACs, I don't understand. I mean, that seems complicated. I also don't even understand the point of a humidifier. I don't get what the point. Does that something to do with?
If the air's very dry, then
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I do think there's something so romantic about being in a hot tub in the snow in Vail with like a martini or something. So there, maybe I'm sort of like, oh, I don't know if I want to like go to the, you know, there's some impact for me there. Okay. Humor. Is this humorous? Are we entertained?
No.
Grossed out.
I mean, like, I'm grossed out. Like, I don't usually go for the poop humor, especially with the reviews. I don't even know that you would call this poop humor because this was a review about poop, but it was not humorous. This is a poop tragedy.
Yeah.
This is a poop tragedy. This is a turd tragedy. This is a give me some synonyms.
Crap tragedy.
Crap. Rocks.
Poop turd.
It's
crap.
A tragedy. It's a
fecal
turdergy.
Matter, feces in all caps.
Yeah.
Tragedy. All right.
It's a tragedy.
Do you want to?
I don't know. I feel very conflicted about how to go about.
Okay, well,
reviewing Andrew.
Just think about the impact here. That's how I'm going to try to assess this. What is the impact for this resort for you? Let's crown it that way. How do you feel?
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
The queens are tabulating. Total score.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm holding up 3 crowns. Trey is holding up 4 crowns. I go first, right? I'm giving Andrew 3 crowns because I do get a little vibe of pomposity coming off of Andrew. I think that the situation was very mishandled and it does make me queasy, but I can't say that this would be a common experience that would happen. Right. I think forever moving forward in my life, I will be impacted by Andrew in that every pool I get into that's a public pool, I will be taking an extra look because this is a gross experience. And the 3 crowns, I guess, are just and the 3 crowns are just validating that experience and validating that truth of if this happened to me and my family, they would go ballistic too. So 3 crowns for that. Took off the 2 crowns, pomposity, and also just because I don't think this is going to happen to every person that goes to Antlers. So that's why I did 3 crowns. Why did you do 4?
I did 4 crowns because it's one of those interesting things when it comes to customer service, like hospitality. It's like Justin really dropped the ball. And then it seems that the assistant general manager tried to like rectify, and then they had to report to the GM who like had a different, like it all was bad dominoes. I don't really want to hold this one experience against the resort, but it does make me feel like, ew, like how did they not catch that it's in there, especially in the world of COVID where like we're being hypersensitive to like cleanliness. So I said 4 because it's sort of leaving like a little impression on me. And when I'm comparing that there's, you know, how many did I say? There's 10 1-star reviews compared to 678 5-star reviews.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty uneven. So that's why I did 4. It's not humorous. Took it off, and I don't think it's probably a common thing. So that's.
There's a reply.
Oh my! Is it from Margalina, whatever her name is? Oh my God, it is! Oh my God, I'm so curious. Okay, here we go.
Get ready. This is like a Scream twist.
Stop
Get
it.
ready.
Oh my God, I'm like nervous. Okay.
This is an M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Stop it. I'm so scared. Oh my God, did the daughter poop? Was it the daughter who pooped?
Here we go.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
This is a response from Magda King, who is the GM. This is September 7th is the reply.
Wait, September 7th, when was it written?
August 2020. It doesn't say the date.
Okay, so like, all right, so like within the month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear Andrew,